Teaching number 7. To those who still do not understand my manifestation, I say, this man through whom I communicate is human like you, and this seat that you contemplate in the corner of the room, in which the spokesman of my word rests, is not the throne of the Lord. The throne that I seek among you is your heart, and I will perch on it when you know how to adore me without idolatry or fanaticism. You are so fragile and so inclined to idolatry, that without realizing it you are worshipping me in the matters by which I communicate, and you look at these places as if they were sacred. But when you no longer have me in this form, you will understand that these spokesmen were not the highest medium for my communication. When the divine ray, instead of descending on the human understanding, lands in your duly prepared spirit, then you will have achieved perfect communication, because there will be no errors or disturbances that mix with the light of your master. Man was destined from eternity to communicate with my spirit in many forms, and this one that you now have through human understanding is one of them. If you find imperfection in this word, attribute it to the understanding by which I communicate, taking into account that I have selected these spokespersons from the humble, ignorant and rude, so that my communication through them would surprise you. But when you penetrate to the bottom of my teaching, do not become judges of my spokesmen, because only I judge them, who speaks to them at every moment through the conscience. So, do not measure with your rod, because with it you will be measured. The one who has been called to be my servant, feels that his heart induces him to come and listen to me and to continue penetrating these places of prayer and charity. To these, who feel they are among the chosen ones of this third era, and to those who are already among the ranks of my servants, I say, keep my mandates, meditate on my recommendations and analyze my words, so that you may be the firm soldiers who do not let yourselves be defeated by trials. All of you must know that at the end of 1950 I will stop speaking to you in this way, and that it is necessary for you to feel me fully among you, when you elevate to me the perfect worship, from spirit to spirit. With these lessons that I am giving you, I am bringing you closer to the time that I am announcing, so that you may understand the change that will take place in you after 1950. By then you must be strong and ready, if you want to submit to my will and continue your spiritual evolution. You must be alert, because temptation will assail you at all times, some to induce you to continue indefinitely a stage whose end has been marked by me, and the others, due to lack of preparation and excessive vanity, to say that they are listening to my divine word in the spiritual. But from today I warn you, and I want you to know that I do not speak with human words, but with inspirations, with ideas, with thoughts. To give you my lessons with human words, I came to communicate through the understanding of man, but once communicated from spirit to spirit, you will not speak to me with material words, nor will your Father speak to you in this way. If you do not prepare, whispers will reach your ears that will confuse you, and later, with them you will confuse your brothers. I am putting you on alert so that, once these communications are finished, you do not try to practice them again, because it will not be spirits of light that manifest themselves, but disturbed beings who come, that want to destroy what you had previously built. On the other hand, the one who knows how to prepare, the one who instead of wanting to become notable, tries to make himself useful, who instead of anticipating events, waits patiently, he will listen clearly to my teaching that will reach his spirit through the gifts that exist in it, which are those of inspiration, intuition, premonition through prayer, spiritual vision and prophetic dreams. I prepare you, people, so that you are not going to profane my law out of ignorance. I open your eyes to the light of truth, so that you understand the immense responsibility that weighs on you, and at the same time, so that you understand how infinitely delicate which is the mission that I have entrusted to you within this work. I want your obedience to make you worthy of my protection, and not that with your mistakes, misunderstandings, and disobedience, you expose yourselves to the justice of men being the one that stops your steps on earth. Truly I tell you that whoever does not comply with my law that exists in his conscience will not reach me, but I also tell you that it would be sad if you had worked hard to sow, and when the time comes to harvest you are disappointed in it, because you see that everything you did was for your body and nothing aimed at perfecting your spirit. People, do not cry hearing me speak like this, do not think that I am unfair when I claim you, nor do you attribute these words to the hardness of the speaker's heart. I know that I am right to warn you and keep you alert. I want to leave you among humanity so that you can save many who walk in darkness, because they do not know how to look at the light of truth. But if you do not reach the preparation that you must have to worthily call yourselves my disciples, do you believe that a blind man can lead other blind people? Truly I tell you that only those who have practiced it on their path and know how to feel it should speak of virtue. Watch and pray, people, so that the sense of responsibility awakens in you and you can listen to the voice of conscience at every step, so that you feel that you have entered the time of light, in which your spirit must wake up and be attentive to my commands. Be happy to know future generations will consider that you were chosen to form the foundations of a new humanity, the precursors of my teaching of the third era. All of you have felt the pain at this time, and your heart, moved in its most sensitive fibers, has returned to me with its sorrow calmed and has been prepared to follow me. One of my words was enough for you to recognize that it is I who speaks to you in this way. The hunger for tenderness and love that you made present to me has disappeared and you only long to preserve my grace, but many will not know how to interpret my manifestations that I am giving to humanity in different ways, nor will they understand my word, and that ignorance will be like a blindfold over their eyes, that prevents them from contemplating my truth. If you want to find me, look for me in the silence, in the humility of your inner temple, and there you will be in communication with my spirit and I will feel loved and venerated by you. Do not imagine me or want to see me in any object. Do not ostentatiously build the enclosure that you dedicate to my worship. Wherever you are you can elevate your spirit. If you want to gather together, a humble place will be enough for you to congregate, and when you have built the true sanctuary for me in your heart, doing so you will teach your brothers to form it in this way also. You present your poverty to me, you tell me that you do not possess goods on earth, but remember that I have given you peace, love, spiritual elevation, which form a greater treasure. Be the strong, the prudent Israel, and when you feel inspired by my spirit, speak of me to your brothers, heal the sick, strengthen the weak, protect the defenseless, and in these practices you will know the wealth that exists in your spirit and you will be happy. The last will take great steps forward on this path and you must prepare the way for them from today. When this time comes, give me thanks and testify before your brothers that my word has been fulfilled. Do not stop anyone in their spiritual progress, because it is my will that this humanity evolves in a short time. I receive your fulfillment big or small, I give you my strength and I console you in your sorrows. Your tears are the best irrigation you give to your sowing, just as a mother stays awake and silently sheds her tears due to the incomprehension of her children, so you, watch over and suffer for those I have left in your care, so that I can tell you, blessed are my servants. Blessed are the sowers of the perfect seed. I receive you, travelers. I receive you, sowers. You are moving away from superfluous practices to follow your Lord, knowing that the payment of your struggle is not on earth. You are satisfied with the vicissitudes of life. Blessed are you. You have not asked me for rich delicacies, you have settled for a hard crust. Blessed are you, because you have given proof that you are not pursuing a terrestrial cause, but have shown that you are following in the footsteps of Jesus of Nazareth. Trials have not frightened you, and truly I tell you, I have placed a cross on each one of you, all your pains, all that men have taken from you, your scarcity, the suffering that each and every one of you carries within your heart, that is your cross. With patience you have carried it and your meekness is worthy of an award. He who only seeks what belongs to the world is not with me. The goods of the earth you obtain with your material work, but the goods of the Spirit you only reach with the preparation and spiritual fulfillment. I am your master and I tell you, since you carry the cross with patience, do not leave it in the middle of the road. Whoever wants to be saved will carry his cross until the end of the day. Whoever is dissatisfied will make his cross heavier and it will seem unbearable. If you want your compliance with my doctrine to be meritorious, bear your sufferings with patience, and he who tells me, Teacher, I do not carry the cross with me, I contemplate that he only carries a burden of nonconformity, but that is not my will. What do you make present to me? What is the seed you have cultivated? What are the lands that you have tilled and made fertile by your fulfillment? The time when sowing is perfect has not yet come, but I do not come to discourage you, I come to teach you so that you reach the highest elevation. Do not forget that according to your sowing, so will be the harvest. If the wheat you sow is in vain, you will reap nothing. If you sow little, you will reap little. Therefore dedicate yourselves to your sowing and you will carve out a reward for the future. The ripe fruit will be in my barn. I leave you the 7 ears so that you can cultivate them. I will ask for the fruit of the first, the fruit of the second, and so on until the last, and if they all taste good, the harvest will be perfect. And what are these ears that I am talking about, beloved disciples? They are the 7 virtues. Strengthen yourselves. The balm has been with you and your spirit I have given my light. Men will come to scrutinize you, but I will give them evidence through you. Woe to the one that is not prepared, because they will doubt him, and the Master. I strengthen you for the time of trial, but why are you surprised when they come? Has not my word been prophetic? That is why I tell you, prepare yourselves, people, because on your way you will find the hungry wolf who, disguised as a sheep, will want to surprise you, but if you watch, you will discover him and with your weapons of love you will defeat him. Men will seek your errors to discredit you, just as they scrutinized the Master in the second era, so they will do with you. But I wake you up, prepare you and give you intuition. In countries near and far, you will deliver my word. I will prepare new farmers so that the tree is not left alone after 1950. Do not be afraid before men, because truly I tell you, I will speak through your mouths, I will testify my word for you and the echo of it will reach the ends of the earth, to the great ones, to the small ones, to the leaders, to the scientists and to the theologians. Humanity will see in you the messengers of the Holy Spirit. You will turn imperfection into perfection. Your word will be sweet, full of tenderness and through it the sick will receive health, and those who have lost their way will repent of their faults and return to me. Today you are my disciples, tomorrow you will become teachers so that you give a good example to humanity. I will see you arrive at the source of love and wisdom, with a heart full of joy and I will say to you, come and quench your thirst, and when you drink and raise yourself towards me, you will see me pointing out the ways of the world, where they are the thirsty multitudes awaiting your arrival. Children of light and peace the Father calls you, but you must justify that name with your works. Only then can you talk about me. Woe to the one who, feeling full of gifts, is filled with vanity or lets selfishness take over his heart, because his fall will not take long and will be very painful. The fruit that I have given you to share with your brothers has a flavor that you cannot confuse, nor should you change it if you do not want your work to be sterile. I don't want you to proclaim that you love me, I want you to leave the mark of love, charity and faith with your works. Whenever you rise up proclaiming that you are my chosen ones, those who are closest to me and those who serve me best, I will subject you to the test as I did with my apostles in the Sea of Galilee, then you will know if you really love me and if your faith is firm. Whoever wants to follow me has to be humble. Obedience to my law is humility in your spirit, he who is obedient is invested with my grace, while he who walks under his will, believing that he carries his heritage with him, has truly stripped himself of his gifts. Day after day I have been indoctrinating you, preparing you for the fight, because soon I will stop speaking to you in this way and you need to be strong to withstand the trials. Know how to be with me, learn to carry me in your heart and in the hours of trial you will see me do wonders through you. Understand how much I wanted to tell you, so that you do not think that it is impossible to carry my teaching within you. Interpret my words well, so that you can take another step on the path of your spiritual improvement. Will you be able to leave everything to come after me, like those who closely followed me in the second era? Or will you try to imitate the prodigal son of my parable, who left his father's home to go to other lands to squander the inheritance that had been given to him? You remain pensive without daring to answer me, but do not fear, that if I have called you, it is because I know that you love me and that you will follow me to the end of the road. If what you fear is losing your life or suffering blood sacrifices, from today I tell you that you will not find these tests in your spiritual struggle. The earth was already fertilized from the second era with the blood of the Master and that of his disciples. Your merit will be that you comply with the spiritual law, without abandoning your duties towards material life. I do not ask everyone for the same renunciation, nor are they all capable of the same sacrifice. At that time, my disciples had to dedicate themselves completely to the work that I came to entrust to them, and for this it was necessary that they leave parents, children, wives and everything they owned in the world. Instead, when teaching the multitudes, they taught them that in order to fulfill the life that the Creator gives, it is essential to give to God what is God's and to Caesar what is Caesar's. That humanity was materialized and at the same time it was little evolved. That is why I told the multitudes, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from God. You are a humanity also materialized, but at the same time evolved, more capable of giving your spirit what it needs and your human life what it demands. You are not new to my teaching. If that were the case, I would have had to give you the law carved in stone as I did in the first era, but if I have come to speak to you about spirituality and to reveal to you the mysteries that in those times I did not were shown to men, it is a sign that you were my disciples in times past. This is the reason why I sometimes tell you that, they and you are the same. Parable. In a distant region lived a father with one of his sons, whom he loved dearly. The son fell ill and the father, seeing that his life was in danger, took him to an esplanade, where there was an old man who ruled the destinies of that region, and when he arrived before his floor he spoke to the old man, "My son is sick and my greatest wish is that he finds relief, because if he dies, I too would die of pain. Your son will heal and return to the region full of life and strength," he told the old man, and while pronouncing these words, he touched the sick man and he was healed. Returning to the region, the father contemplated his son robust and full of health. Time passed and that son felt strong, arrogant and directed himself through crooked paths taking poisonous fruits that sickened his body and spirit. He did not know his father in his heart only harbored feelings of hatred and destruction. His father, seeing him lost in that abyss of evil, went to the esplanade and said to the old man, "Good old man, my son has taken the tortuous path that has plunged him into the abyss." "Why are you crying?" said the old man. "I cry when I see the perversity of my son. I have waited for his spirit to be lifted from this world but that moment has not come and I can no longer bear his wickedness." The old man replied, "You asked him to live, and he has lived. It was time that his steps had ceased on earth, but behold, you must learn to ask and conform to my will. Beloved Israel, I am always fair in my decisions. Why do you sometimes want to insert yourself into my lofty designs? Don't you know that those who go to the spiritual realm, penetrate into the true life? Do not oppose, on the contrary, help them to depart with your consent, so that their passage from this world to the next, be full of firmness and spiritual understanding. Seek me as a father, know my love, my wisdom and my justice, come to me through the ladder of prayer, faith and good works. My peace be with you.